Hi everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to my cozy kitchen. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I definitely am. And today I wanted to show you something interesting. I'm doing smoked shrimp fajita tacos for dinner today. And we are using a tail-on 2125 shrimp. I have 1 pound of shrimp here. And we will be popping those tails, like that song. We're gonna pop some tags. Well, we're gonna be popping some tails. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how to get this set up for our grill. And anyway, let's get after it. All right, guys, here's a few things you're gonna need to do your fajita shrimp tacos. And I'm going to smoke my shrimp today, so we'll have to get that grill set up as well. But right now we're gonna get the shrimp set up and then we'll go out and get the grill lit up, okay? So we're gonna need our shrimp. This is, again, 1 pound of 2125 tail-on shrimp. I got a mixing bowl, olive oil, fajita seasoning, and you can choose whatever kind you like to get from the store or make your own. You could do that. But anyway, I've got this pre-made stuff that I got from one of my vendors not too long ago. This stuff is great. We're gonna need a little minced garlic. And one thing I really appreciate using on my grill outside is this grate. So this is actually the toaster tray for my Breville toaster oven. Okay, this is for doing frying, air frying. This thing works great on the grill. You don't have anything fall through it. Fantastic. I love it. All right, guys, we're gonna pop those tails off our shrimp. So you're just gonna hold the shrimp in one hand and pop the tail off. Just like so. All right, once you have your shrimp in the bowl, let's go ahead and add our other ingredients. So I've got 2 teaspoons of fajita seasoning. Pour that right in. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, just like that. And we are going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil, just like that. All right. There you go. So that's your prep there for your shrimp. And what I'll do with this pan here, I'm going to spray this with a little bit of pan release. I know that I have some oil already on my shrimp, but I always put a little bit of pan release on this grate. And otherwise, let's go ahead and get that grill lit up. All right, guys, I'm out at the grill. So one thing I want to point out to you, okay, so you've got your upper valve up here, your damper up here, and you got your damper on the bottom, okay? So on the bottom, if you look closely, I'll pull it out here. This is your ashtray, okay? So the tray is right there. It's got holes in this side for ventilation. And that's the ash that it catches when you get your ash out of there, okay? Now let's open up the grill and I'll show you the inside so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so 2 things you have to really worry about. One is keeping your ashtray at the bottom clear, and also keeping the holes in the bottom of your grill open too for air ventilation, okay? So that's really important. So if you have a bunch of ash in here, you wanna make sure you knock that down into that ashtray at the bottom and get it all out of there, okay? So we got that all cleared out. So let's go ahead and get our charcoal in here. Now for smoking, as I'm doing, you don't need a lot of heat at all. So we don't want this to get too hot when we put that hardwood on there. Okay, just kind of move your charcoal around so it's evenly dispersed on the bottom. Go ahead and put our fuel in here. So this is a lot faster than just normal grilling because, again, I don't want to smoke my shrimp all the way through. I want to still have a little bit of undercooked shrimp when I do my fajita part of it. All right, let's go ahead and let that get caught up on fire. And then I will show you here. Here's my hardwood right here. So this is cherry wood that I have at the moment. I like to smoke with hickory, but I had cherry, so I'm gonna use cherry today with the shrimp. Will it matter? I don't think so. It should be awesome no matter what. It's gonna be hardwood smoked. And if you notice this is dry, you don't have to soak it. Okay, and I'll show you how that all goes. All right, let's go upstairs and we will finish some of the veggie prep that we need to work on. I'm gonna leave the grill open so it can catch, the charcoal can catch on fire. and otherwise I'm going to go upstairs and prep my other items. Okay, we're back up in the kitchen. Grill's lit. Got to let the charcoal catch, and then we'll put the hardwood on there. We'll get our shrimp out there on our tray, and I'll show you how to smoke that shrimp. But next thing we're going to do is work on some veggies for the fajita. Red pepper, a green pepper, jalapeno, and I got half of an onion, okay? So let's go ahead and chop those veggies up and get them into another container, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so for tacos, I like to cut my vegetables down a little bit smaller, okay? So this is a half an onion. The grain is going this direction, all right? So I'm gonna cut this in half through the middle, and then I'm going to julienne the onion going like this. I'll move my body over so you can see what I'm doing here. Just like that, okay? Try to stay nice and thin. So that's what that looks like, okay? Go ahead and chop all the way through. When you get down to this smaller part, just drop the onion down on its side like this, and then go right across. That's it, okay? All right, now the peppers, okay? Go ahead and cut them in half. Pull your seed. Okay, with the pepper, I'm gonna cut them in half too, just like that. Right down the middle, okay? And we're gonna julienne this really thin too, okay? So, just like that. There you go. That's your red pepper there, okay? And repeat. And green pepper. Same thing. Just like that. Okay, jalapeno. Cut the end off, stem off, through the middle. What I like to do with jalapenos, I like to use a spoon to take the seed out. I'm only going to use half this jalapeno for this fajita. The other half I'm actually going to make a kind of a pico de gallo actually, but I'm going to use some cucumber in it to make it nice and fresh. And I can show you guys a video on that as well. Okay, so let's move those seeds out of the way. All right, I like to test it always too, and just to see how spicy the jalapeno is. So we'll take a little piece and, ooh, got a little kick to it. Woohoo! So I'm gonna cut this into smaller pieces like this. So I've cut it into thirds, okay? And then we're gonna small julienne this one as well. Okay. I'll throw that right in with the fajita veggie. And there you go. That's our fajita veg. Now I'd fire and see how we're at. And before I do that though, I want to go ahead and get this shrimp on my tray. Okay, so I will set this up right now on this. I'll get some pan spray out, we'll spray that off, and we'll get the shrimp laid out on here, and we'll get downstairs and take a look at that grill. All right, go ahead and spray your pan, your grate down. You can do these right on the grill too as well, but I like to use this so nothing falls through. It's a really nice way to do your shrimp. You just move them around so they're more flat so they can absorb all that smoke. So just move them around here. Now you're not going to have to turn these either. You're just going to smoke them just the way they are. You don't have to turn them at all. The smoke will go through everything here really well. Just make sure that you got everything separated a little bit. And there we go. All right, let's get downstairs and go check on that fire. Put it in there. So go ahead and put your wood right in the middle. Get your grate on top. So we have this on the top level of our grill. Let's go ahead and put the shrimp right in there, just like that. Kind of center it. You can see it's already starting to smoke. All right, let's go ahead and close that down. And the next thing I want to do is I want to close my dampers down. So I'm going to close the one on top, and we'll close the one down on the bottom. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Okay, so this is the top one here. You can see the smoke already coming. So you don't want the wood to start on fire, you just want it to smoke. That's why you're kind of smothering this out a little bit. So go ahead and keep that damper on top really low. I'll show you the one on the bottom. Okay, and this is the one on the bottom. So this is all the way open, and this is almost all the way closed, right? We want to keep it right about there. That'll really smoke really well. You want to keep that heat down about 150 or so to get a nice smoke in there. And I'm going to smoke these for 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and set our timer. All right, there we go. Timer set. Look at the smoke coming out of that thing. And I'll just pop the cover open real quick so you can see it. Look at that. Man, that's some smoky shrimp. All right, let's let her smoke. All right, guys, I'm back to my grill, and I decided to take these off in 15 minutes instead of 20. The grill's up around close to 200. They're cooking a little bit faster than I'd want them to do. If your grill seems to be getting hotter than you really want it to be, make sure you close your dampers down. You close the one on the bottom for sure. Get that one closed. I usually keep the top one open a little bit just to let that smoke come out. But yeah, I'm at about 180 as it looks like here, 190. And I'm going to go ahead and take these off. So that's 5 minutes less. So 15 minutes smoke time. Okay. So a little correction on the smoke time. And let's go ahead and get them off there. Look at that. Whew. They look absolutely fantastic. All right. So bottom damper's closed. Look at that. They look absolutely fantastic. All right. I'm going to get these upstairs and we're going to cut them down a little bit. All right, I'm back in the kitchen. I've brought my smoked shrimp upstairs. I let it cool down first before I'm going to cut it. But I want to cut it down so it fits better in tacos. Otherwise, you're going to have this, you know, large piece of shrimp. So we want to cut these down into smaller pieces. So I'll bring that camera over here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to cut the shrimp up a little bit smaller. All right, I want to take one piece of shrimp here and just show you. I'm going to cut it into slices in a sense, just like this here. Okay, now again, it's going into taco, so I wanted to have the shrimp a little bit smaller. Now my other julienne vegetable, let me show you what that looks like just side by side with it. So here's a green pepper. So the shrimp is a little bit smaller, but then you'll get a little bit more coverage with the shrimp. Okay, so that's the plan. So go ahead and throw those right in your bowl. So again, I'll go this way so you can see I'm just kind of slicing them a little bit like this. There we go. And again, there's that green pepper next to it. Okay. And continue. All right, guys, there you have it. The shrimp is all cut. All right, let's get that pan preheated and get this dish going. All right, we're going to hit the pan with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. This is a non-stick, so you don't need a lot of oil. And let's go ahead and throw our veg right in there. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. So we had a little garlic when we did our shrimp, when we set that up earlier. There's a teaspoon in here, just for added flavor. But we're going to add another tablespoon to this dish here. Now, if the dish doesn't really have a really tasty fajita flavor to it, well, you can add more of that fajita seasoning to the dish. But you want to taste everything. Once you get the shrimp in there, get everything tossed together, taste everything, see if it's got enough seasoning. If you feel like it doesn't, then go ahead and add a little bit more of that fajita seasoning that you have. All right, let's let it cook. All right, the vegetables are cooking up nicely. All right, it's starting to brown up a little bit. If you want them to brown up, you got to leave them alone just a little bit, and then the pan will start to brown up at the bottom, and then just move your veggies around, and there you have it. Looking excelente. I'm not quite ready to add the shrimp yet. I want the vegetables cooked down a little bit more. Now this shrimp actually cooked almost all the way through. Wasn't exactly what I was trying to do. I would rather have had it be a little bit undercooked so I can get a little more flavor transfer into this from that, just the juice from the shrimp. And that's mostly because my heat got a little bit too much outside. It was closer to 200 degrees. You really want to stay around that 150 if possible if you want to do that nice smoke to them. And as you saw that, I had cut down my time I was going to go 20 minutes and I cut it down to 15. That's just about managing your food. That's what this is all about. Cooking is not an exact science. When it comes to a lot of this stuff, you have to use a little bit of your own wit, I guess you could say, or instinct, and that will help you along the way. But they look really good though. We're just going to let them cook a little bit more, and we'll get back to you. All right, let's give them a little stir here, and you can see they're browning up nicely. That's going to add flavor, okay? Okay, just let it go a little bit more again. Let that pan stay nice and hot and brown them up a little bit more. We'll get back to that in a second here. All right, that's about as far as I'm going to go with that vegetable. They look really good. Look at this here. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and throw that shrimp right in there. Give it a toss, and what we're going to do is turn the stove down. Now, you could let this stay nice and hot and serve it right away, but I'm staging this meal for later, so I don't want to continue with this high heat. Otherwise, my shrimp is just going to get chewy. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a little stir there, let it heat up for a minute or two, and then I'm going to just shut this thing down and get back to it later. All right, that looks really good. Only about 4:30 in the afternoon, so I'm going to just go ahead and shut my pan off, and we will do a recap on our shrimp fajitas. I should say our smoky shrimp fajitas. Looks good, huh? All right, guys, I'm going to do a little recap on our smoky shrimp fajitas. We're making tacos with it. I will say that I didn't have to add any additional seasoning. This seasoning was spot on. 2 teaspoons is what I used. Again, if you are smoking your shrimp, try to keep your grill on a very low temperature. I did have to cut my time down, as you saw in the video. So I was going to put it for 20 minutes, and I decided 15 was enough. I didn't want to cook my shrimp too far along because I wanted some of that juice from the shrimp to add to the fajita flavoring, okay? Yeah, and then go ahead and use whatever kind of tortillas you want. I'm going to also use my pico that I made with that, and we're putting some queso fresco. I also picked up some green salsa from the Mexican market too. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's easy enough for you to follow along with. Again, do you need to smoke your shrimp for fajitas? No, you don't. You can do the same step with the shrimp in the bowl with a little bit of oil, garlic, and the fajita seasoning. Mix it up, let it sit for a while, and then cut it down. If you want to cut it down, I would probably cut it down only because you're going to put it into tacos. If you're doing any other style like a burrito bowl or something, you could leave your shrimp whole. But I cut mine down so it's easier to eat as a taco. I will post a photograph of our completed meal at the end of this video so you can see what it looked like and how we put it all together. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was entertaining. It was definitely fun for me to do. I was I wanted to do this smoked shrimp for a while, and it's also what I said before, it's grilling season. But anyway, please subscribe if you haven't. Again, it's free to subscribe. It just gives you a little bit more of a warning when I post. Give me a couple thumbs up if you like the video. Please hit that notification bell, ding, 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 ding. And give me a comment or two if you want more information, or you just want to add to the video, that'd be fine. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Chef Leroy, and out.